Okay, hello and welcome to another FillQuick tutorial video. Now in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to generate your technician's invoices and when you actually see these technician invoices. So if you're having issues perhaps seeing a technician's invoice, I'll explain why, and it's going to make sense why we streamlined this full process. So let's go back to the dashboard. This purple tag over here are your jobs that are open and not finalized. And let me explain first of all, before we get into the technician's invoices, what this is. When I click on this, it's going to show the late jobs, and what late jobs are is when a technician is supposed to install a job, which is Thursday, April the 13th. Today it's Friday, April the 14th. So they were supposed to install these jobs yesterday, and it got past midnight of that day. Well, it's going to go into a red bucket of jobs that they have not finalized. So think about this. If your technician today is supposed to install these jobs, well, by midnight tonight, these jobs are going to go back into this red bucket here. This is the jobs that they haven't finalized. So why is it important for us to keep track of the jobs that the technicians finalize? Well, the key answer here is because, well, so that the invoice is ready to be generated. Think about it. We need technicians to finalize their work orders so that they tell us what exactly they installed on the job. So by default, it'll actually show you exactly what the technician is supposed to install based on what the salesperson requested for that technician to install on the job. So 9 times out of 10, what will happen is they'll just hit the save button because what they were supposed to install is exactly what the salesperson said, and you're done. However, there will be times where, for example, a technician's installing 2 doors, but the customer says, wait a second, on the contract, the sales rep promised me 3 doors. So technician would switch from 2 door contacts to 3, and here the technician is saying this is sold by the sales rep. Now perhaps the technician wants to upsell a smoke detector. Let's click on products, type in smoke, and for example, we pull our product. He sold 1 of these, and who sold this? The technician. Did we charge anything for it? Yes, as the technician, I charged $250 for this actual smoke detector. Now, a couple things to note here. You'll see some itemized lines went yellow. What was requested by the sales rep is not the same for this itemized lines, these 2 itemized lines, as what the technician installed. That means those are the itemized lines that changed. Now, in the case of the technician's payroll, of course, the technician would get the upgrade only on products and services that they sold. So, having said that, this is $250 for this smoke detector that he upsold on this customer, Susanna. So let's just finalize this work order by going save. And when I do, now the account is automatically marked as installed. And do keep in mind, I'm doing it from a secretary standpoint as I'm logged in. The technician would just do it on their own part. Okay, so if I go to the dashboard now, if you recall, there were 8 jobs open and not finalized when we started this video, and now there are 7 because we finalized 1 of them for the technicians. We don't recommend that you finalize work orders for your technicians. Have your technicians do it because it logs what they installed, the user, so the technician, and the date and time, so that if they're ever off on inventory, you can go back and take a look. So, having said that, these are now 7 jobs open and not finalized. Now that the technician finalized that job for Susanna, it's going to show up in their invoices to generate. And of course, since we're doing payroll, let's go to funding and payroll, weekly tasks, and here you see technician payroll. So as we actually scroll down, you will find that the customer Susanna is in this list. Now we have 25 jobs on this page. Susanna's not here. Let's go to the next, and you will see this last one here was Susanna Monhagan. So this is the actual install. Because we finalized it, now it's showing up in this list. So just to show you, to generate an invoice for this technician, I want to actually show you what's going to happen. If we click create the invoice, you'll note up top there are tags on our side-by-side payment calculators. We'll notice there's the technician who sold this amount. The total tech upgrade was $250. but we have red uncollected amounts to charge. So I would highly recommend this $250, we would charge the customer before actually paying the technician. Now, do keep in mind for this demo, I'm actually showing you in real time. So typically your secretary or office staff would have already charged this customer before actually getting to the step. However, if you do see this, check this out. Let's go to cancel. Let's go to payment info. Let's see that if this customer of $407.45, the breakdown, you can see the complete details. We've never charged this customer before. Of course, this is a demo server, but let's charge this customer. The MasterCard we have on file, perhaps an email to go out to the customer. Thank you for your business. And if you are integrated with our merchant provider, an email will go out with a receipt for this amount we're charging. As you see in real time, the customer was now charged. So if I were to actually go back into funding and payroll, for example, weekly tasks, technician payroll, and I were to go back to that customer, which is Susanna Mohan, and actually generate this invoice, you will now see all the charges were collected. I want to be very clear here. On this demo, we didn't charge this customer in advance. So do note, typically you won't see that. It'll be all charges were already collected. And on top of it, the workflow where you're doing your weekly tasks of your technician's payroll, you'll just be utilizing it in that manner. So to pay this technician, let's just say, for example, the Go Control 3, this is the wireless install. We want to pay him $150 for a wireless install. Okay. And also we want to, let's say, deduct him $20 for a late fee. I know we don't typically do this, but just to show you how it updates in real time. And now perhaps we charge $200 to the technician for the smoke detector, and anything above is $50. We know this is collected. So let's give him $50 for the smoke detector upgrade. So now he has an invoice for $180 on this customer. And FillQuick already knows the technician that's tagged to this account. So now that it's already tagged, we just click create the invoice. And now the invoice is already created. Also do note it's not paid, because at the end of the week, when you actually are done all your technician payroll, you can go and bulk up the total amounts for your technicians and pay them. So let me just go return to technician payroll and show you now, if you're still watching this video, how you would typically bulk up your payroll for this week. Now, typically we pay technicians based on their invoices that they finalized, that they haven't been paid on yet, and between a date range. So let's just say we're going to pay the technicians that installed everything from the 11th till today, the 14th. Let's search. So what it's showing is the 7 jobs I'm supposed to do payroll on that have been finalized between these days that I need to generate the invoices for. So let's just do another one really quick. Create the invoice. And over here we see all the charges were collected. The technician's upgrade was 0. There was none over here. And it's the Go Control 3, so it's $150. And this is for the wireless install. Wireless install. And let's just create the invoice. I can go back, return to technician's payroll, do the next one. If you remember, it was 7 jobs, and now it's 6 jobs. So let's create another one here for this same technician. Create the actual work order. It shows you it's been installed. And do keep in mind, it will not show up in the list if it wasn't installed. But we do keep it here for you as a tag on top, just to confirm with you as well. So I see over here, everything was on the sales rep. Technician did not collect any upgrades. This one's a wireless install as well. So let's do $150 for the wireless install. Okay, and let's just generate this invoice as well. And now this is generated. So if I want to return to the technician payroll by clicking on that link, now you see there's 5 jobs left. So after we are done, whenever you want to cut checks for a technician, all you do is you go to Pay Invoices Under Funding and Payroll, Weekly Tasks, you will see Pay Invoices. Now it's asking you which invoices do you want to pay for which contractor type, your technicians or your sales reps. In this case, we're cutting technicians payroll. Well, which technician are you going to cut it for? Let's say the sample technician number 1 that we generated these 2 invoices for. If I click on this, you'll see the 2 invoices we created. I can click on select all. It'll show me I'm supposed to cut a check for $300 for this technician. What is the check date? It's going to be today, which is the 14th. And I can put the check number in directly over here. Now, currently, we're not integrated with any QuickBooks or any payroll software. So you'll just be in charge at this point of cutting your checks if you write a manual check or creating it in a software such as QuickBooks. But you will actually select this. It'll tell you the total amount. You can enter the check date and the check number, so you can log it at any time. Mark the selected as paid. You're done. The technician will now see it from his end that he got paid on this week's jobs, those 2 that we just did, and his total is $300. So thank you so much for watching this video tutorial on how to pay your technicians. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any other questions. Comment on the video as well. And thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the other upcoming videos to come.